What's up, everybody? Welcome, our YouTube followers. I was a little late in the video last time, so I'll hit it out now. If you guys like our content, enjoyed the video, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down at the bottom of your screen. Hit that bell notification. This way, you guys can find out everything that we got going on. Um, this will be the second podcast in a little time off series that we got going on. Hey, what's going on, Gracie, Johnny, Chuck? What's up? We are also running a live YouTube, Facebook feed right now. It's like we do every time with our group. So I'll also drop a link in the description for our Facebook page and our email. To our followers on Facebook, we are now on YouTube at Fourth Kind Paranormal Profiles. We have our first podcast posted up. If you guys jump on there, shoot us a subscription and a like, and it'd be much appreciated. Again, you guys can comment on there. You can comment on here. However you guys want to do it, we'll figure it out. So,
Following you, man.
all right. One of our Facebook followers hit me up today with a bunch of suggestions, and honestly, these things were golden. To the point where I wrote them out. And, stuff he would like us to talk about. And the first thing he asked was for us to give a tutorial on the paranormal, what it consists of, what we do to either prove it or disprove it. And I'd like to talk on that a little bit. How about you?
Sure.
All right.
Types of paranormal. This is where Joe and I are actually pretty good together because I get into the demon stuff, and he gets more into passing spirits, spirits left over. Whatever. He can explain his side of it a little bit better. Me, I get more into the poltergeist stuff, the demon stuff. That's what I've studied on. That's what I've followed for years. That's what I've tampered with for years. So I got a knack for it, and I ended up pretty good on it. As far as um, like a demon haunting or possession or poltergeist possession or anything else like that, we really haven't come across in my opinion, a real one yet. We have had a bunch of messages asking how to, well, I've let you know about one in particular in just like the recent weeks. Um, I get messages here and again on how to get rid of uh, a demon infestation or a poltergeist activity or something along those lines. Um, in my opinion, I think that we're actually pretty fit and pretty okay to get rid of things like that. Um, demon possession or infestation or poltergeist activity is actually really kind of hard to explain because there's so many different things that can happen. Um, One of the main things that actually, in my experiences, happen is you'll see severe attitude changes, severe nightmares, to even where the adults are wetting, even crapping the bed. Um, Severe attitude changes during the day just by just walking into the house. Severe difference in animal behavior, child behavior, breaking into cold sweats and crying for no apparent reason. One of the other things with the nightmares that I just mentioned is 90% of the time, the person waking up from said nightmare won't even remember one single bit of the nightmare. Um, Certain visions during the day, and then you obviously you get the the creaks, the sounds, the movements, the things turning on, the things turning off. But that goes with any type of paranormal haunting that you come across. Um, but I mean, I think the main thing that kind of puts an emphasis on it being evil or demonic or poltergeist activity or something along those lines is one of the main things that I've noticed is definitely the nightmares and the loss of control of bodily functions. The attitude changes are they're noticeable by any stretch of the imagination. They are severely, immediately noticeable.
Now we're talking about oppression,
Yeah,
correct?
yeah. And 90% of the time, when you have a demon type of thing, that's in your home or in an area or something like that, you are going to have oppression. They are going to latch on. They are not going to leave. I mean, I know we all think, there's some of you out there that think the world sucks and everything else like that. But in the same token, if you were, if you had a choice of being here or in what you perceive as hell, where are you going to want to stay? I mean, let's just be realistic here. I know it sounds corny and I know it sounds kind of, elementary and everything, but, that's one of the problems that I have with a bunch of your paranormal shows that you see today. It, it, it's 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 not Einstein stuff here, people. It's actually pretty simple to explain and to understand. So, but that's the demon side of things and poltergeist and everything else like that. And I mean, as far as what you get into more, then that's on you.
Share that.
Sure, but sure. Oh yeah,
Thanks. Okay. Yeah. Basically, just to elaborate a little bit more on the whole demon side of it.
yeah.
Demons oppress because they have to. They have to feed,
Mm-hmm.
pretty much. And what do they feed off of? They feed off of us, our energies, and ultimately, their goal is to feed off our souls. Um, but I haven't really encountered too much of that. Um, most of my experiences have come off of, um, I want to say, human spirits. Um,
Confused,
yes,
human, something
yeah.
along those lines.
Don't realize that they're dead, or they do realize that they're dead. They just can't cross over yet for some reason or another. Um, be it they have unfinished business or purgatory is a punishment.
Yeah.
Not bad enough to go to hell, not quite good enough to go to heaven. They're stuck. Or people have been screwing around and opening up a gate, not properly closing it, and they are stuck.
The real quick, and that brought me to another point because there's a lot that I have to remember as far as this is concerned. Um, as far as demons and everything else like that, contrary to a lot of what people believe, um, and if we're going to go into religion and what people believe and everything else like that, this is going to be a 4-hour podcast. We can go forever, but just understand that this is another theory as far as religion is concerned or demonology is concerned and everything like that, which I strongly believe. There are, Joe and I have a little bit of a disagreement on this as well, but I mean, this is strongly what I believe. There are good demons and there are bad demons, just like there are good angels and there are bad angels. Okay. Um, Not every single demon that you're going to come in contact with is bad or trying to hurt you their ultimate goal is not to hurt you. They all have a reason that they are there or that they have their rank or whatever it is that you would like to put, however you would like to name it or label it or whatever the case may be. There are good demons and there are bad demons. So, on that note, when you come to us or any other paranormal investigator, you need to take that in mind. Again, a lot of the paranormal things that you guys see on TV, that we see on TV, every demon type thing is malevolent and it's trying to hurt them and everything else to that nature. No, that is so wrong that it makes me sick to see some of those type of things. Uh, you can come across a demon that has more or less a good job. You can come across an angel that more or less has a bad job. When you see, let's take a real quick, just full on effect of this. When when you see the angel of death, the Grim Reaper, he's not a good. You don't necessarily think of him as a good angel, do you? No. Okay. So think of that. You have there, and a lot of everybody's views as far as religion, it's all about balance. Okay. Well, okay. If you have an angel of war or you have an angel of death, what is the balance on the other side? So you've got to think of that and quit having that just little one track mind. Um, or don't. I mean, I'm not here to change your religious views or anything else like that. But I mean, if
No, we're just
what
trying to give you an
right,
idea of the stuff we deal with and what is actually out there. Hey, Ma, how you doing?
yeah, the biggest thing is that you have to, no matter what, you have to keep an open mind. Don't think that everything that is labeled demon is bad. Don't think everything that is labeled angel is good. If you go into it like that, you're already done for. So that's just something to keep in mind for you people that are actually looking to start getting into this or looking to start doing some research into this. You have to keep an open mind because if you don't, you're gonna drive yourself nuts.
He's right.
April Ross, hi sis. Yes, you can ask a question. Shoot. Wow, my sister's on here.
I don't see that comment. Well,
Ask away. Type your question.
yeah,
We
type
can
your
see it.
question out.
It takes us a little bit of time to actually get this, but I mean, we'll answer it as fast as we can.
Well, again, getting back to what I've encountered most, and like I said, it's been human spirits that are just stuck here for some odd reason. We've actually, recently have had the opportunity to help one of them actually cross over.
Yeah, sort of.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Anyway,
That
but
was a tough one. That was not getting into the whole thing or anything else like that, but that was probably one of the ones that hit harder home than anything else. So that one was rough. I'm done. I'm sorry.
that's all good. Okay, so and how we actually go about our investigations. Again, keeping up the whole tutorial thing. Um, First, we can kind of tell when we walk into a place if there's something there, if there isn't. It's just the vibe that we get from it. Or just that initial feeling of driving up to it. There was a couple times at Posey to where as we're driving up, we're still a good couple miles away, and both of us,
Something was off.
yeah, we knew it, and and normally on the drive up, we go live and we talk about the impending investigation and all that, and especially with Posey, the last couple times that we've went, we felt that something was a little off. So we know that okay, there's probably something there. So then once we
Mhm.
figure that out, then we try and communicate, try and find what is there. I guess um, we have some specialty equipment that we'll get into later on what we use and how we use it, but essentially we are just trying to communicate. You know, um, basically the whole "give us a sign" type of thing, and we just kind of just run with that. Go from there. You know, what uh, what was your sister's question?
All right. I'm gonna I'm gonna tap into what he says first, and then April, I'll answer your question. Um, a lot of what we do, or what you people do, whatever the case may be, you've got to base, you've got to solely base it first off of gut feeling. But the problem is with going off of strictly gut feeling is you're setting yourself up for failure because you're gonna hear like your mind can play many tricks on you throughout the whole thing. Like you can get a gut feeling like, oh, this is bad, and then you can get to a place and be like, oh, I hear this, I hear that. Did you see this? Did you see that? And nothing is happening whatsoever. So you've got to differentiate between
Yeah,
the two. Okay.
yeah. Especially if you want to try and keep it as honest as possible.
Yeah.
You know, yes, we have those feelings, but yet we're still walking into wherever we're going with that open mind of okay, yes, we have this feeling, but is it just
The
ambient
neighborhood.
energy or our surroundings that are giving us this vibe?
Yeah. All
You
right.
know,
Real simple. Let's face facts here, people. We live in Northwest Indiana. Okay. We are 10 minutes away from Gary. If we were to do an investigation on, anywhere between Fifth and Second Avenue in Cary, we're going to drive up there being two white boys and be like, okay, we have a really bad gut feeling about this. This is a bad idea. But then we get into the house and there's just nothing
nothing.
happening.
Yeah,
That's where you got to differentiate. It's like, wow, it sucks that this place has to be out here. This can turn out really bad. But then you get into the investigation and you realize that there's nothing going on. Baby girl, go in your room. Sit down. Sit down.
huh?
What do you want?
She's not on there. 1 second.
Milk? Okay.
Yeah, basically
Come
to
on.
to elaborate a little further, a lot of times just the surroundings will give you that vibe, and you have to be able to tell the difference between either it's just your surroundings that are giving you that vibe, or you're actually, experiencing some kind of spiritual energy, and so once you kind of get used to it and it becomes easier to decipher between the two, then it's kind of easier to go into the actual investigation with that open mind and basically, see if there's something there or not. While there was this one of the times where, again, I'm going to keep referring to Posey Chapel because those were some of the best investigations that we've had. And I mean, outside of Indiana Bridge, which that place is absolutely crazy. But and again, I'm just going to keep referring to Posey. You know, um, the first time we were at Posey Chapel, again, we had that really weird vibe driving up. And as soon as we got out of the truck, it just kind of, started, you know, and then we crossed over into the cemetery and that vibe went away. So again,
Yeah.
now mind you, on the drive up, we're actually driving through forest and, farm roads and, you know,
If any of you have ever actually seen like the Twilight, like the end, like the beginning sequence to the Twilight Zone, or what is that other one? Tales from the Dark Side. That's what it's like going to Posey. Like you're driving through nothing but forest, nothing but woods, and there ain't crap around you except for trees, and you're just like, what the hell did I just drive into here?
Yeah, and basically my point being is that when we got there, we got under the pavilion, the chapel, and we heard scratching. Couldn't figure out what the hell it was, and right away, because of that feeling we had driving up, oh, it's something paranormal. It's got to be. Oh my God, you hear this, you see that, and then all this other bullshit. The further we looked into it, Joe actually found it. It was the trees scratching on the tin roof of the pavilion.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I'm talking about, you know. And Tim, he commented on our live feed. He said exact. He goes, in other words, what you're saying is clear your mind before you start the investigation.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. Driving up, if you get that feeling, if you get those vibes, unless you
back off.
actually experience something going there, when you get out of the car, forget about it. Honestly.
Yep.
Just forget it. You know, it if it was like the cemetery in Cherville at St. Michael's Church, that's a little different story because it wasn't just the vibe and the feeling. It was actually affecting us again with his back hurting, my teeth hurting, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, you know, going into it, just kind of you have to go in with a clear mind, with a clear head. You know, not everything you're going to experience is paranormal.
Right.
A lot of stuff can be explained away. 95% of your experience can be explained away. That's what a lot of people don't understand. That's what a lot of these famous investigators don't want you to know. You know, that 95% or better of your experiences can be explained away. And that, for our YouTube followers, that is what we do. We give you the honest truth, period. If we find something, we post it, we show you, and holy shit, we found something. If we come across something and it's explainable, we're going to let you know right then and there that, nope, this is what it was. It wasn't anything paranormal. That's it.
Yeah. Real quick to answer my sister's question, sis, thank you for tuning in. This is the question. Lived in a house in the middle of a battlefield that had weird things happen, animals acting weird, and was just wondering if watching ghost stuff on TV could have influenced the activity. Mean just lots of activity, noises, things moved, animals' hair standing up, looking into space. Okay. There's two answers to that, and you can kind of take it how you want. One, depending on how you, okay, watching the ghost stuff, you know, initially watching the ghost stuff on TV, is that what triggered the activity? No, it is absolutely not. You can watch anything on TV, and just because you watch a TV show, it is not going to trigger activity. But on the back end of that, if you didn't believe in anything before you watched said ghost show on TV, and all of a sudden you started opening your mind to it, yes, that could have been one of the triggers.
That was a point that I wanted to make.
Yeah.
Is that watching this stuff on TV, he's 100% right. It's not going to affect anything, any activity. It's not going to stir the pot, period. Anything you see on TV is strictly entertainment.
Yep.
But there is an asterisk to that. It will spark your subconscious. It will open you up to the idea of it, therefore making you more sensitive to it.
Right.
Okay?
It's the same thing as April. It's the same thing as when we were kids. Okay, if you were 5 years old and you're used to watching Elmo and E.T., and now all of a sudden you watch The Exorcist, you're going to go to bed with nightmares that night, and you're going to think that there's creatures under your bed, and you're going to think that, you know, you hear this and you see that and all this type of crap. It does not change as you get older. It does diminish a little bit, but it doesn't change. You still have the same effect. And now watching these ghost shows and things like that, it can open your mind to it. But now with everything that you know, we've been taught, that we've seen, that some of this stuff, there's a very, very good possibility that it's real. I'm not going to come out and say yes, it's real, because of the fact that there's way too many people out there that believe that it's not. I'm not here to change your views on whatever it is that you believe. The bottom line of it is once you actually open yourself up to the idea that this could actually be happening and this could be the reason behind it, you start to see things in a really, really different light, and you start to hear things, you start to notice things that otherwise you wouldn't have noticed before. Before, let's just say, again, you're 30 years old and you're used to watching stuff like E.T., and then all of a sudden you go and you watch The Exorcist. Before, when you were watching E.T. and you were watching your cat's hair standing up and, staring off into space, you were just like, wow, look at this dumbass cat. Now that you've seen The Exorcist, you're just sitting there like, what's your problem? What's going on? It's the same. It's the same principle. So don't blame the fact that you're actually watching the ghost show. Blame the fact that you actually have an open mind to it now, and that's what spirits need. They need an open mind to actually let them come in and be like, hey, I'm here. I either need help, or I need someone to talk to, or I haven't passed over yet, or I'm an asshole and I'm a demon and I'm going to screw you up. It's one of those four things. I mean, really. When you break it all down, it's at the end of the day, it's one of those four things. So, I mean, and the fact that you're sitting here saying that, okay, the animals saw things and you were hearing noises, you're not really saying that anything really bad happened. So I would have to suggest that you really didn't have an issue there. You just had someone that hasn't crossed over yet, and probably would have been a hell rather interesting to talk to, especially from where you were saying you were at.
She she touched on a point in her question about the animals freaking out.
Yeah,
That's actually a pretty
proven fact.
yeah. Animals are extremely sensitive to the paranormal.
And paradimensional too.
Yeah.
In their daily lives, especially cats, unfortunately, they can jump from dimension to dimension throughout the day, and you don't even know it. That is a proven fact. So, I don't know if it was an animal or I know you have a lot of animals, April, so it could have been a dog, a duck, a cat, or, whatever. But if it was a cat, I would have paid attention to it big time. Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's all right. Is that Tim's? I can't see
Yeah,
my
that's
glasses
him.
on. Okay.
That's his last thing that he said. Crazy Tim.
So crazy he was. Oh. Who was helpful? April?
No,
No, it sounds crazy. He was helpful. He showed us where a huge water leak was. After we got it fixed and it stopped. And you're very welcome for the insight. That's about all of that.
It says see more. I'm trying to click
Yeah.
it.
It was in Petersburg Battlefield, Virginia.
Perfect. Again, see, again, if he was helpful, that kind of just goes right along with what I was saying. That he wasn't malevolent or anything else like that. It's just somebody that hadn't passed over. That could have been his house at one particular point in time. You just don't know
Well,
until you actually sit and do the research.
She said her husband thinks it was a Civil War ghost.
Very possible.
Yes.
Very, very possible.
Especially in that area. Holy shit.
But the big thing is about it, when you come to something like that, okay, I've always thought, my personal belief is, you go in and you do the initial investigation, which all right, on these TV shows, like you do Dark Time or the 3 a.m. thing or whatever the
Yeah,
case may be.
dead time.
You dead time. Thank you,
Dead
dead
time.
time. Yeah. My initial idea in the way that I like to run my investigations is forget all the the um, the intellectual investigation right off the bat. Go in there and see what you actually get and see what you can catch. See what you can catch first, and then go back and do the insight and the investigation on who died there, who owned the property, who died in the house. Is there anything that would tie such and such person to this such and such place, et cetera, et cetera. Doing it, me personally, doing the history investigation already, with an open mind, already gives you an idea of what it is that you think you're going to see, or what you think you're not going to see, or whatever the case may be, and it taints the investigation. I think personally, go in and do the investigation, the paranormal side of the investigation first.
It's going cold.
Yeah, go in dead cold. Don't know anything about the place. See what you pick up, and then go and do the history research and everything else like that. And then, if possible, go back and see if everything
cross-reference what you found.
and see if everything actually adds up.
And here's another big thing. I'm sorry to keep cutting you off, Joe.
No, it's fine, brother. You know that.
Here's another big thing. A lot of these people want to do this at 3 in the morning or at midnight.
Such horse shit.
Well, here's the thing. Here's my point on this, okay? Yes, 3 a.m. is an important time for investigations and the paranormal and everything like that, because it's a mocking of the Trinity, is what it is. Okay?
Religion.
Yes. And that's what I do.
Well, yeah.
All right?
That's what you do.
Because apparently, I get at 3 in the afternoon is when Christ was crucified.
3 a.m. is the opposite.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay? It's the demon hour. So, the majority of people who actually go in and do those types of investigations expect to find something malevolent.
Right.
If you go in expecting to find that, you are going to find it.
Your brain is going to take over.
Yes, you are going to find it.
Yeah.
Now, whether if there's something there that is malevolent, if there is, you are going to know about it right away.
Oh yeah, yeah, you will. Believe me,
if there isn't anything there, it becomes psychosomatic.
Uh-huh.
Your brain is giving you what you want. It's giving you that experience because that is what you are looking for if you go and fuck around at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Here's the biggest problem, and not to cut you off, bud, but your brain is literally your worst enemy when you are actually getting into this type of field. Okay, your brain is your worst enemy. During investigations, your brain is your worst enemy. Okay, because your brain makes you think that, oh, this is different, that's different, I shouldn't see this, I shouldn't see that. What is a normal shadow that would go across the wall, you all of a sudden think that it's old man Hickey from down the street that died 2 years ago, and he's trying to come and give you a sign that you should really go to the bathroom or something. It's that ridiculous when it comes to this type of field. And damn it, I lost my track of thought. But I mean, there was another thing. Like he was.
It was old man Hickey that threw him off.
Yeah, it was old man Hickey. The other thing that I want to strongly point out to everybody, if you go into this with a religious background and everything else like that, that's fine. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that whatsoever. But do what Joe and I did. Get the polar opposite, okay, to kind of check each other. Because, okay, he was sitting here talking about, 3 p.m. was, what was it?
3 a.m., the demon hour.
Well, I know, but you said 3 p.m. was the time that Christ died.
Yeah.
3 a.m. is the demon hour. In my belief, if you're dead, you're dead. It's not going to matter whether or not it's 3 a.m., 3 p.m., 2 a.m., 12 p.m., 10 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning. Although if you come to me at 7 o'clock in the morning, we're gonna have some serious
You
problems.
better have some shit going
You
on.
better have some shit going on, and you better have some stuff to talk about, man. I'm dead serious right there. Okay. It don't matter whether it's 7 a.m., 9 p.m. It doesn't matter. The situation is the same.
Yeah, what's there is there.
What's there is there. It's not going to just go away and then come back and say, oh, it's 3 a.m. I can come out now. No, it doesn't work that way, in my opinion.
You know, even investigating in the dark versus having the lights on.
Yeah,
honestly, it doesn't matter.
And Jamie and I actually debunked that theory at Posey. Because I took Jamie, my wife, and I took my daughter. I took one of my daughters. My other daughter wasn't born at that time, but I took my daughter Phoenix out there, and we walked around the whole area. And we had one little butterfly that followed us throughout the entire, I mean, literally the entire area of that cemetery. And and she sat herself, and I want to say it's a she, but she sat herself right on my shoulder. And I would flick her off. I was an asshole to this little butterfly, and this butterfly would flop around a little bit, and it would come back and go land right back on my shoulder until I actually got her on my hand and I placed her on top of a headstone, and then she finally let us go. Like, she actually stayed there, and we went back to the truck. That right there, if that's not paranormal or something along those lines, I don't know what is. But it was drawn to me and my family. And we have pictures of it, we have videos of it, everything else of that nature. Eventually, we'll post them up here. But Posey is a crazy, crazy place, man. That's why I'll be honest, I'm the one that always keeps on going to Joe. Hey, let's go to Posey. Yeah, I can't get enough of that place. And every time we go
we
there,
encounter something.
Every time we go there, we get something better and better and better and better.
Like I said, that's why I keep referring to it, is because those have become some of our best investigations.
Yes.
I'm going to read Tim's comment and question real quick, and I'd like to address this.
Go for it, brother.
Tim commented on our live feed. I would think that either sunset or sunrise would be better times because there should be times that the realms or planes would be close to the material plane. What is your thoughts on that time frame?
That's
honestly, Tim. I honestly believe that it matter. The only thing that matters as far as that goes is your beliefs.
Yep.
Okay. If you're a spiritualist, if you're Wicca, if you're Christian, if you're
working off of astral projection,
Hindi,
astral plane,
or whatever,
or something along those lines.
Every religion has a different, or every spiritual belief has a different theory on it.
Mm-hmm.
Me personally, I don't really go along a whole lot with the whole.
That actually took me a minute to figure that out too, but go ahead.
I really don't go along with the whole sunset, sunrise, stars aligning, planets aligning type of shit. But that's me. That's I was raised Catholic. I was first a Franciscan, then we had to convert to Dominican. But either way, it's Catholic. Okay, and mine kind of varies, especially with my experiences. I'm not a whole lot of Catholic or the whole, Christian side of it. I'm not a whole lot of the spiritual aspect of it. I've come to believe my own stuff off of my own experiences. And that is kind of what I would recommend for our viewers and our followers and anybody else that wants to do this and wants to get into this. Base this stuff off of your experiences, not on what a book tells you. Okay? If you base it off of what a book tells you,
you're already fucked. Excuse the language, but you're
yeah. I mean, one, you're handcuffing yourself.
Yes.
Okay? Because you already are going into it expecting to find everything that you've read in the book. or stuff like that. I mean, again, this all ties into just opening up your mind and just kind of forgetting what all the background chatter.
Yeah.
That you're getting. Everybody's going to be trying to talk, into your ear from behind your shoulder on, what you should be finding and what you shouldn't be finding. What
and
this
not to,
and that.
and not to cut you off, but the people that are actually talking to you about how you should be doing this and what you should be finding and what you should not be finding and what you should be scared of and what you shouldn't be afraid of and everything else like that are these BS people that's sitting on TV for ratings and not for the actual science. So already, if you are sitting here believing what they say, you're done. You're so behind the actual field that it's sickening at this point. So
I
you
mean,
need to take a different perspective on all of this.
again, it's just, you're following these people that you see on TV. It's just like following the book. You know what I mean? I'm a guy. You give me something to put together that's got instructions. The last thing I'm taking out of the fucking box are the instructions.
Right.
I'm going to do it my way.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's how I think everybody should do this. Do it your way. Off of your experiences, off of your feelings, off of the vibes you're getting.
Yes.
I mean, Joe said, shut your brain off. It's your worst enemy. He's right for about 50% of it. But when it comes to actually experiencing stuff, now you need to kind of turn your brain on and be like, okay, this is what I've experienced. What could cause this? What around me, okay, there was a random light shining on the wall. What around me could cause that random light that just shined up on the wall? Mm-hmm. Is there a mirror behind me? Did a car drive by it? Did my phone flash? Something. Just do it your way.
Yeah. Real quick, to address what Tim said. Tim says a lot of pagan religions use star alignments when communing with the spirit realm. Okay, again, you're using a book. Stop it.
It's not necessarily using a book. He's using a specific
you're using
faith.
a specific faith.
Okay.
Stop it.
Which is fine, but use that. Okay, if you're into paganism, use that. Okay, as a template.
Yeah.
Okay, use it as a template.
Yeah, I agree with that.
All right.
Use it as a starting point.
Exactly. But just don't stick strictly to that dogma.
Think of it as okay. If I'm going to find something, maybe this is when I'm going to find something. Okay, that's as far as the template goes. After that, forget it. Don't listen to one word of it. Okay. That's the quick and easy version because we have a lot of questions here tonight. Now, April, my sister, again, she says the only history was being a Civil War battlefield. There's more history behind that. I promise you. Okay, I understand that's as far as you guys have gone or could go or something along those lines, but believe me, there's something more behind that. You need to look into who died in that area, everything else of that nature. Before the house was built in 94, okay, so what other houses were built on that area, on that property? That's one thing that I would be looking at. The owner, till we bought it, I've always been interested in the paranormal, but that was the only experience I've ever had, if that's what it was. On my first impression, I would say yes, that's what it was.
Hey, Jimmy.
You're far enough away. Yeah. On my first impression, I would say yes, that's what it was.
I mean,
you had a paranormal experience.
At my factory reset settings, I don't need to be on this.
The voice that you're hearing in my background is my crazy wife. So yeah, now you see a hand. But anyway, my first impression, I would say yes, you had a paranormal experience, but it's up to you on whether or not you actually want to dive into it further. Because I can almost guarantee you the spirit that you had an encounter with, he's not gone, and you could probably,
Have you tried reaching out to him?
yeah, that's where I was actually going with it. I would see if you can actually communicate and actually get a relationship with.
Yeah. To be
this
honest with you,
one,
your phone.
because this actually sounds like actually a really really decent spirit.
Yeah.
So I mean, you might actually have something that is really worth looking into. I don't know if you live there anymore. I know that you guys have moved around a bit, but still, that that's something that I would love to go and actually look into.
Hey, Stefania. But I mean, April. I'm sure since you're watching,
Okay.
you know that you have a smartphone.
Yeah.
That is probably one of the best devices you're going to get as
Mhm.
far as investigations go. The voice recorder on your phone works perfectly to catch EVPs. Just turn on the voice recorder, ask it a question, give it a few minutes, give it a minute or two, ask another one, give it a minute or two. Do this for 4 or 5 questions worth, and then just review what you got. Just listen to it.
Could be wrong. Okay.
Oh no, what?
All right, Tim. Are we done with April's
Yeah,
thing
April.
as a
Just
point? If
just
you
try
have
to
any
make
other
contact.
yeah, if you have any other questions, April, or anything else like that, please feel free, shoot them in. But now someone said kind of something to piss me off.
Oh, here we go. Thanks, Tim.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, buddy.
Okay. Use an investigation to disprove paranormal
You're very welcome, April.
and have the entity prove me wrong. Okay.
What?
If you go into that, Tim, if you go into it that way, you're a dumbass and you're actually looking for possession. Okay? If you want to go in and you want to sit there and you want to provoke an entity or provoke a demon or provoke a poltergeist or provoke a spirit, you don't even know what the hell it is that you're going in and actually facing. And you want to use what you've read out of books to come in and say, hey, Mr. Whatever or Mrs. Whatever, prove me wrong. You're asking to be possessed at that point. That's an asinine way to go into an investigation.
Provocation.
Provocation is the dumbest thing that you can do. You don't
especially somebody who doesn't have a lot of experience with this.
Yeah.
And doesn't know how to protect themselves from this.
Uh-oh.
Jamie?
Okay.
Go ahead.
The voice in the background is about to fucking speak.
The provoking
Yes,
thing
ma'am.
that you just said, that's not necessarily true because there are times where whatever it may or may not be there may be curious but not open to communication until you poke at it or provoke it enough to make it interact on some level. It's not necessarily telling it, hey, come possess me.
Okay.
It's, hey,
do
something to let me know you're here.
Okay,
You're
I
right.
understand what it is that you're saying, but on the same token, when you look at the odds and you look at the chances of one or the other, okay, provoking is the last thing that you want to do because you don't even know what the hell it is that you're dealing with
No, I do agree
in the
with-
first place.
I agree with that. You don't want to go in just right off the bat provoking. I would use it as a last resort method, if at all. I don't provoke things when I go poking
Okay,
around. So
Tim, you're sitting here saying being quiet and observe. That's exactly opposite of what you just said. You're wanting the spirit to prove you wrong that he's not there, but then you're just sitting here saying being quiet and observe.
I think he's saying go do an investigation and
just sit back and watch and let it present itself.
And
But you cannot. Okay, on that note, again, you can't do that because you actually have to give whatever is there the notion that you're actually interested in at least communicating or speaking. Like, again, damn it, again, you're right. Posey. Posey is the epitome of a start point for a paranormal investigator. Because you have spirits there that are scared to actually come out and speak. Because they don't know if anybody. There's been so many people there over the years that most of the spirits there are just like, oh, here comes another idiot that, they don't care. They just, think of it as just being in your house, but nobody can see you. Here comes another idiot. They don't care. They just want to try to get a little spook or whatever the case may be. And then all of a sudden you have that one person that comes in and says, hey, we want to know your story. Why are you here? What can we do to help? Etc., etc. Where are you? Can you show us that you're here? You as the spirit is just like, well, wait a minute. This person's actually trying to, they're trying. You've got to take that into a consideration, and sometimes the experience that you get is a little too far, which is what happened to me at Posey. It wasn't that a malevolent figure was trying to take me over. It was just they didn't, in my opinion, in my feeling, of what I felt at that point was that it was just a little too much. When we went back, I didn't have that feeling, but I did have that feeling. It's like, hey, I am here. I wanna try, but it it's hard to explain. It really is hard to explain.
Well,
I know I sound stupid
Tim,
right now, but it's hard to explain.
you just said by being there, you show that you're interested.
False.
By being quiet, walking around and observing, and recording and gathering substance. If you don't let it know that,
You're interested in
yes,
them. It's like
if you want to take a portion of your investigation,
that's why Tim is bad at this. It's like dating. Okay.
if you want to take a portion of your investigation, okay, and just sit and observe or walk and observe and gather information, that's perfectly fine. But you have to make the initial move. You have to let them know that you are there to interact with them.
They're not just going to come out and say,
Yes.
"Oh, hi, you're here."
No. You can't just walk into someplace, not say shit. It's
like
walking into
a bar. Yeah.
You walk into a bar, you sit down at the end of the bar by yourself, you don't say shit to anybody at the bar, and you expect to have a girl just walk up to you and go home with you.
Who's the weirdo at the end of the bar?
Exactly. Who's the weirdo at the end of the bar?
Yeah.
That's exactly what these spirits are thinking. Who's this new asshole sitting in his chair, not saying a fucking word, but he's got all this instrumentation in front of him? No,
he must think he's special. It's the same thing. If you think the way that our mind works is any different than walking into a bar when you're gone, unfortunately, and it sounds stupid again, and it sounds very elementary, but it's rather true. If you don't make the first jump and the first leap to say, "Hey, I'm here. I want to listen," they're not even going to pay attention to you. So your theory about just stand there and see what happens is wrong. It's totally wrong. You're never going to find a damn thing.
Spirits are a lot like a spirit when they're dead in their spirit form. They're a lot like they were when they're human. Okay? Except now, usually they want a little bit more interaction because people can't see them.
Any reaction. Yeah.
They some of them crave that interaction. And if you don't give it to them initially to let them know, hey, I'm here to talk to you.
You're literally in your... Sorry, not to cut you off again. in your theory,
Getting used to
in your method, in your theory of method, what you've just explained to me to kind of go into my world is that you've gone into paranormal investigation waiting for a ghost to trip over a chair that usually doesn't happen on a whim. It happens every, 4 or 5 days to 20 days to a month, unless you're married to someone like my wife that she trips over a chair every day. That's in the same fucking place that,
All right. I think we got
haha.
I think
But I
we
mean
got our point
that
across with
right,
Tim.
but that's what my your theory is basically portraying to me. If I'm wrong, I apologize, but that's what your theory is portraying to me. You have to make the first move. You can't just sit there and say, "Prove me wrong that you're not here or that you are here." You can't
Well, then
because
quite
you're
literally-
never going to get anything.
Quite literally, you will get nothing.
You will get nothing. Every spirit
me
in
wrong
the
that you're
area will just say,
Nothing. Yeah.
"Fuck you," and they'll move on. They want someone to talk to. They want
No.
someone to communicate with.
That theory, you're. God, I'm trying to word this correctly. Your idea of the investigation actually could work if it's a known,
Demonic.
not so much demonic, if it's a known
Demonic would work.
poltergeist
Yeah,
site. Okay, That's when you go in and you sit and you observe.
yeah.
You don't interact. You sit and you observe. You set up your equipment.
But I think that's what he's wanting to find. That's the big thing.
What? Poltergeist
So,
activity?
yeah, I'm thinking that he wants something to blow his mind to actually,
Everybody
get him into
wants
this.
that.
Everybody wants the Holy
You know?
Grail. Everybody wants the Holy
And
Grail.
Shit. All the investigations that
You're
we've gone
not
on,
gonna get it. You're not gonna get it. Don't go into this.
that's
thinking,
happened twice.
Yeah.
Twice. At the same fucking place.
Yeah.
Again, Posey. I love that fucking joint.
Yeah.
The first time was having that
Tim, when you
That-
come up here and
that-
visit,
headstone shard thrown at me, and the second one was that mist. with the
Tim,
face
when
in
you
it.
come up here and visit, we're gonna take you two places in the same night. One, we're gonna take you to Posey, and two, we're gonna take you to Indiana
Bridge.
Yeah, Indian Bridge. And I guarantee you will shit your pants. I promise you.
Yes.
Those are the two places
And maybe St. Michael's Cemetery.
yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
But,
Those are the places that will scare the living hell out of you. And the fact that they actually are so close to where Joe and I are, those places are the epitome of holy shit.
yeah,
You-
and
you know?
honestly, the proximity of them,
Yeah.
if we dedicated about 4 hours one night, we could hit all three. You spend about
I was
half hour,
actually-
45 minutes at each
I was
one,
actually,
we could
I
hit all
was actually
three.
thinking one of these nights, once the weather gets warmer and everything
And
else
that's
like
the
that.
thing. Fucking December 26th in Chicago, it's 60 fucking degrees out at 8:30 at night.
Yeah, who knows?
And the whole time on the way here,
It's
it's
on
like
the TV right now,
55 degrees.
Yeah.
Why are we not investigating? Was the question in my head the entire drive here. But this is important too.
Because in Indiana, it can drop from 55 to 25 in about
Yeah,
5
rather
minutes,
quickly.
and that's why we're not doing it. But I was actually thinking the whole Posey thing, and we keep seeming to
Oh, I'm
come
not
back
knocking
on
them on.
Posey.
I'm liking it.
We seem to keep kicking back on this whole Posey thing. I think once the weather breaks and everything else like that, maybe we should just do a real big thing and do a sleepover in Posey. I think
Maybe.
that would be fucking awesome.
Maybe. I
Especially
was
now that
actually
we're-
kind of thinking more of a group event
Yeah,
and
but
inviting our followers and taking
Yeah.
20, 30 people.
I think that would be excellent as well. But I sleep over the group event, whatever the case may be, and actually do it in rounds. I think that would be good because 30 people on that property would be just way too much
Yeah,
and
it'd be
too
nuts.
much contamination. But
your mom's like, "Are you nuts?"
yes, I am. But I think that if we were actually to do a sleepover there, and especially now that we're on YouTube, we can go live for the whole entire night, and we can actually see what's actually going on,
We got to get to that
and
point
we can
with
get
YouTube first.
we can get a definitive for Posey.
And your
I
sister
would
says
really
she's
like
like,
to
"I'm
do-
there."
I would really like to do Indiana Bridge. April, I'm going to tell you what.
I'm not doing a
If
sleepover
you
at
actually
Indiana Bridge.
if you actually come up here to do a sleepover at Posey with us, I will schedule it 100%. I don't care if anybody else shows up but you. I will schedule it. Period.
Okay. I don't know about the whole overnight stay at Indiana Bridge, but
Indiana Bridge bothers you big time.
Indiana Bridge has affected me before.
Well, I know it has.
Majorly.
Yeah, I know. That's our first place that we ever caught anything, and that place is pretty potent.
First time we went, I had an attachment.
Yeah.
And I actually made a pact with God that I would not do this anymore. If he
See
removed
how
it.
he followed that real well.
Well,
right?
you know what? When you're pulled to it constantly, and you constantly ask, "Am I supposed to do this?" You know, it's
I need a young.
maybe this is where I'm supposed to be, so this is what I'm doing. And the second time we went there, it was you, me, Jamie, and Tiffany.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt that attachment again. And it was like
Tiffany went down.
Yes, Tiffany went down that night.
hard too.
It was like a cold, tight blanket just wrapped around me, and just anger, and yeah, I kind of lost my shit on that one, getting it off of me. But either way,
There's something definitely there, and the problem is with the Indiana Bridge, and I know we're getting off the topic here, but the problem is with Indiana Bridge is that we are a small team. Obviously, we're at the very most we're 4 or 5. The space of Indiana Bridge is acres upon acres upon acres. Okay,
it also encompasses Kinky Valley Marsh.
There's no
the gallows
way.
and
Al Capone's old mansion.
Yeah,
which if you go on that property, you're
dodging bullets.
Yeah, you're dodging bullets. So there's a lot of area that we can't
Gracie, that's the one by the
control.
river.
Yeah. There's a lot of area that we can't control, and there's a lot of area that we cannot cover unless we are really, really smart about the whole entire investigation.
Well, the problem is, we can plan it out, okay, and say, okay, we're going to do this part of the bridge, we're going to be there for 20 minutes, and then we'll move on. That's not how investigations work. We can't do that because once we encounter something, now we have to dive into what we encountered.
Yeah.
That could take 20 minutes, half an hour, hour.
Right, and on the same token, we have to have enough equipment for the spread out teams and everything else like that to catch everything on the property. It's damn near freaking impossible. We could do it, but it's going to take a lot of people. So it's going to take a unanimous effort from everybody that's actually watching us and willing to go and do this to actually get that property, finalized. Yeah. That's why we haven't done a finalization of that area because we just can't do it.
Yeah.
Posey is a little bit easier. If we were to do a group, shot out to the Posey and put locations in a hat and be like, okay, this two-person team go here. This two-person team go there, blah, 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 blah. We can cover it, and it's not a problem. But, again, that place is so close that it would have to be two teams, a two-person team out, a two-person team in. And it just every, 20 minutes or whatever the case may be, switch out unless they catch something, and then you give them like an extra 20 minutes or something like that, and then, you just follow along on our live feeds. So
you see, and he's saying two-person team. Do not investigate by yourself.
No, okay? Absolutely
Don't just jump in the car and go to Indiana Bridge by yourself.
No.
Have at least one other person with you.
Unless you want some serious, serious shit to happen to you, do not go to any of these locations by yourself. No. I agree with you 100%. No. That is a seriously, seriously bad idea.
Okay.
So how long have we been on here?
A little over an hour.
Yeah, here we go doing a long ass podcast again. It's going to
it is
take
what it
24 hours to render.
Damn near.
So, yeah.
Damn near.
There-
I'm going to
there's
try
so
to find
many
a different
pe-
way.
There's
But either
actually
way,
a lot of people that are asking some damn good questions. So
yes, I'm happy with it. You know, but I like audience participation.
yeah,
You know, and especially now with the YouTube and all this. Guys, drop your questions into the comments, man. I mean, we'll hit it next time around,
Okay.
or we'll just answer you right on the comments. We'll get there.
let's
You know?
let's try to hit the stuff that we
We
promised
don't have to
that
hit
we were going to do.
everything on here. I mean, this was just kind of, again, a template.
Okay, well,
So I mean,
what's the next quickest thing that we can do?
our equipment. We can talk about the equipment.
Perfect. Yeah,
Okay.
perfect.
Again, one of the best things that you're going to use right here,
Is your iPhone.
your
Yep.
phone. Your phone doesn't iPhone, Android doesn't matter.
Your iPhone picks up so many different radio waves that you people don't even
Yeah.
imagine that it is one of your.
Okay.
That is your starter kit right there.
Yes.
Is your iPhone.
Yes. Especially if you guys are just dabbling in it.
You know, Pepsi or anything?
Yeah, please.
All right. Cool.
No, the can's fine. Thank
It's
you.
fine. All right.
The voice recorder on any smartphone is plenty good enough. You don't have to go spend $150, $200 on a digital voice recorder.
God, please no.
We have a couple standalone digital voice recorders. One was like $80, another one was like $60. They work perfect. All right, and one of them even comes with software, so you can, tweak the audio a little bit to clear stuff up, stuff like that. But your phones are probably the best tool that you're gonna have. You don't have to spend a shit ton of money on this stuff. Now, if you have investigated for a few years and you want to get bigger, you want to catch more stuff, or you just want to cover more area with the equipment that you have, then you're going to have to pony up the cash. Because honestly, with paranormal equipment, you get what you pay for. It just like, I'm a DJ. Just like audio equipment, okay? You get what you pay for. I spent $160 on this night vision camcorder for us to go on and actually capture stuff in night vision. Yeah, Ma, you got an iPhone. And this thing is the biggest piece of shit out there. It would stop recording. At first when we're using it, we're like, oh my God, it killed the camera. No, it's just junk. The UV light on it, if you're indoors, it works great. If you're out, when we're doing the cemetery feeds or we're doing Indiana Bridge, unless you're within 10 feet of the camera, 20 feet from the camera, you're really not going to catch anything out of it. It's junk. We don't use it. It was a waste of $160. We have an SB7 Spirit Box. Again, the same thing that most of the paranormal investigators use on TV.
Yeah, but they use updated
But
version.
yeah, and some of them
But it's the
use.
same
Thank
damn
you.
thing. All it
Some of
does
them use the SB11, which is the
Come on,
updated
man.
version and all that. But either way, they do the same thing. What this thing does, it sweeps through radio frequencies, through the white noise, through all that, and you're supposed to be able to capture spirit voice through it, an audible voice. Oh, come on, dog.
Panzer, go lay down. Sorry, my Rottweiler hit the camera.
Yeah.
Go to bed.
All right. It sweeps through the frequencies, and you're supposed to be able to hear an audible spirit voice.
Okay.
And I don't know what a 7 crown phone is, Tim. But if it's a Samsung
Wait,
and it's a
you have
smartphone,
Samsung. What is the Samsung 7 Crown?
I think it's one of the cheaper
Samsung
models.
7?
That's something you're gonna get for like a pay as you go.
Okay.
Yeah. But either
Well,
way, hey
okay.
Tiff, how you doing, dear? Yeah, either
Lynn,
way, if it's a
Mom-
smartphone, it has.
Mom, yes, you have a smartphone. The phone that I bought you, yes, that is a smartphone. A couple things that he was saying that I need to kind of elaborate on and everything else like that is when you use your smartphone, you first off you got to pay attention. Number one. Number two, you're not just going to automatically, record something and everything else like that. Don't think that you're just going to get shit off of your iPhone. There's going to be a lot of people that look at this podcast here and be like, "Oh, I can go and use my iPhone and I'm going to catch a voice." False. It's not going to happen.
It works the same way as a digital recorder.
Yeah.
If you catch something, you catch them. If you don't, you don't. My point is you don't have to go and spend the big bucks on a recorder when the one on your smartphone works perfectly.
Right.
And
a lot of apps are actually
yeah.
Okay. Check this out. This is going to actually really, really piss some of you guys off. Okay. This is the point that I wanted to get to. It finally actually clicked in my head. When you watch Ghost Adventures, sorry, I didn't want to say their name. But when you watch Ghost Adventures or you watch any other type of show that you want to see on TV right now, do you want to know what they're using? iPads with apps. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
The night vision, it's iPad with app. The, what is that?
What?
Yeah, the night vision is iPhone with an app.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
It's a night vision with an app.
I do know the SLS camera.
The SLS.
It's
an app
that goes on a Windows tablet, and it runs through an Xbox 360 camera.
Yeah.
And it's off a Windows app.
When you guys look at that Xbox Active or whatever the hell it's called, okay?
Connect.
Connect, thank you. The app that they actually use to actually record your body, I'm sorry, the app that they use to record your body or your outline or anything or what you do is the same app that they're using to record ghosts, so to speak. Okay? So it's all right there in your smartphone. You do not have to go and buy $3,700 worth of equipment just to pick up something that you think is paranormal. It's all right there on your iPhone or your iPad. It's all right there.
One thing I would suggest, if you plan on video recording, is actually invest in some type of decent night vision.
Yeah.
Yes. There are these paranormal equipment stores, website stores that actually sell them.
What's that guy that actually did the paranormal puck?
He's Bill Chappell.
Bill Chappell, yeah. Go to
He's the one that did the Ovilus.
Yes.
He did the Paranormal Puck 2. He's the one that invented the SLS setup.
I would strongly suggest to actually go to his website or look him up for any type of...
I'll tag it in the description, but the website is digitaldowsing.com.
Yeah. I would suggest to go to him because he's 100% invested in this science, and he's not going to steer you wrong. He's not going to give you BS or anything else like that.
The shit ain't cheap.
Yeah,
shit ain't cheap. I can tell you that.
That's very true. He is
the Ovilus alone.
Okay, Bailey. If you call me sir or mister one more time, okay, I understand that it's your way and everything. I'm just Joe. And hi.
Okay.
Sorry.
He's
Joe too.
Yeah. The Ovilus on
my son's girlfriend.
Okay. the Ovilus
Mr. Joe.
off of Digital Dowsing, invented by Bill Chappell. I believe they're up to the Ovilus 4 or 5 right now.
5.
Ovilus 5?
Yeah, it's 5.
It's $375.
Right.
The Paranormal Puck 2, which needs an app to run also that you have to pay for, Just the equipment alone
I
is
know.
$275, and then whatever the app costs. If you were to actually buy the SLS camera through him, you're talking $1,800. So you
Yeah.
can dish out a shit ton of money for stuff that you don't know how to use, and you think you can use it just because you watch a TV show.
Yeah, and that's the big thing about the TV show. Don't get it. Don't get it twisted. These TV shows they're getting it for free because that's advertisement money. Okay, so
Yeah.
they're not paying for a damn thing. Now we're just starting out and everything else like that, and here we are finally on YouTube, and we've been doing this for just about a year at this particular point, and we're just now getting on YouTube. If you think for 1 second that Frodo and his team are paying for any of that equipment
Here
that
we
he's
go.
got, you're out of your damn mind. Okay, and I know that most of you follow Frodo. Okay, but at the end of this episode, we'll give you some programs to actually watch to get some serious.
Yeah, we'll make mention of them at the end, and then also drop some link. And I'll drop some notes in the description for everybody too.
Yeah, we'll get you some serious shows to actually watch and learn from and everything else like that, and kind of try to follow. If you're going to try to do this on your own, hey, more power to you. We have no problems with that whatsoever. The more people that are out there actually looking for stuff like this for real instead of for ratings is great.
Every field has competition.
Mm-hmm.
We don't look at it as competition. Okay?
And we don't care because we're not making money on this to begin with.
That's our point.
This is just something that we do because we love it.
Trying to pass on education. We're trying to, obviously entertain people. Pass on the education. Doing this out of the sheer passion of it. There is no competition for us.
Yeah,
I don't view the shit that's on TV as competition. I don't view the other paranormal groups that are on Facebook as competition. I don't.
What you do is
if they do something cool, hell yeah, man, do it, rock it.
Yeah, what you do is not going to affect us one bit. We're still going to be sitting here smoking cigarettes, drinking Pepsi, and talking shit. Whether or not you find something phenomenal or you don't, we really don't care. I mean, we're going to view it and we're going to respond to it and give our thoughts on it, but it doesn't affect us one way or the other, people. So that's the one thing that I say that actually makes us a little different. We don't care. We're not in this for the competition. We're in this for the knowledge. And hey, is this stuff really real or is it not really real? And if you find something that we find really, really interesting, guess what? We're going to take the ride down and we're going to look at it ourselves. So we can either back you up or we can debunk you. Take your pick. It doesn't affect us one way or the other.
All right. Getting back to the apps, probably the best app that I've come across on the phone is this one right here. It's the Ghost Detector app. Okay? I don't know if you guys can see it, whatever, it's shining or okay. This right here.
Look at that. Look for that symbol, and you'll be able to find it.
Yeah, if you can see the hand, okay, that's what that's what you want to look for.
Leave that. Here's the thing. Leave that on for a night. Put your phone on the charger cord and everything else like that. Leave that on for a whole entire night, right next to your bed while you're going to sleep, and see what you catch. And then look, because it actually records. It will record the responses or the words that you get throughout the entire night. Look at that recording when you get up the next morning and see if anything actually makes sense to you.
Yeah,
it's a great app.
Yeah,
it'll archive great app.
All the words, and it works like the Ovilus device, to where it actually gives a readout of the word or phrase that the spirit is trying to use. Now, with this app, a lot of the words are kind of just randoms. Just picking up off of. It works off of ambient energies. Okay.
Yes.
So a lot of the words it picks up, some of them are random. Some are actually the wrong word, but sounds correct. Like Joe and I ran into the other night. Okay,
You've
it said Amanda no and Amanda yes. The name Amanda, Amanda no, and then Amanda yes. But it was actually trying to say man no and man yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's where you need your brain.
yes, you have to be able to decipher that on your own. Okay, we needed to lay out a salt barrier. Okay, I was in a different part of the house.
Which
Did it?
worked big
Good.
time. It
Good,
worked.
good. I was in a completely different part of the house using that app. As soon as Joe laid that barrier, I had no idea he did it. It hit on that. It hit, and it said Amanda no, and I'm like, what the hell is this? I go upstairs, find out he had just laid that barrier. I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah,
I said, and I asked, I said, did so and so ever refer to you as man or whatever? He goes, well, yeah. I said, oh, okay, that's what that means.
Yeah.
He trying to say man no, and then we asked another question, and it came up Amanda yes, man yes.
For some of you that don't actually know, a very preliminary, what would they call that? Theory on how to trap a demon or to trap a spirit or anything is try to first figure out what room that spirit is in. Especially if you're in a house, this works really, really well. You figure out what room that spirit is in, back off, and then pour a salt line across that doorway. A very thick
across the threshold.
Yeah, across the threshold. You want to pour a very thick salt, kosher salt, Morton salt.
The
it doesn't matter.
Funny thing is,
just salt.
We got in the dude's ass last podcast about using Morton salt, making fun of it. That is exactly what we use. We use fucking Morton salt, and it works.
Okay, salt is
salt. Period.
It's a barrier for spirits. For some odd reason, it is a salt. It is a salt. It is a barrier for spirits, and if you can corner a spirit in one room and then back off and then actually pour that salt barrier, they're trapped in that room. And if it is a demonic presence, especially in this type of, well, if it's a malevolent presence in that situation and you back it off with salt, you will see a complete change within 24 hours of that whole entire household, as long as they stay away from that room. So that is something for all you, beginning investigators to take note of. Salt is a strong companion. For some odd reason, it's a strong ass companion.
Okay. Let's get into some of the shows that we actually recommend, because we're going to have to start cutting this short. Because like I said, we are just two regular guys. We started this about an hour after he got home from work, and I need to leave for work in about 20 minutes.
Showered yet, so I'm pretty sure it's not fun sitting next to me right now.
But anyway, Holzer Files is highly recommended. Just they break down the history of each investigation.
The only one that I find that is a quack on that whole damn show is that psychic. That's the only thing. Everything else I find genuine, and I love the show, but I hate the psychic. She's hot. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I'm married. I know it. She's hot. I know it. But she's bullshit. That's the only thing that I have to say about that show. Otherwise, I love that show. It is an intellectual show. My roommate that doesn't believe in this whatsoever, he's actually watched every single episode, and the one thing, and I'm gonna take it from his saying, is that he did not feel like his intelligence was being challenged the entire time of watching that show.
Yeah.
It actually, there's nothing bad that I can say about that show except for the psychic. The psychic, I have some issues with her, but on the same token, to go against me, I don't necessarily believe in bringing a psychic onto an investigation either. So maybe that's
I
just what
don't
the
know. I
problem
mean,
is.
that might be kind of cool.
It might be, but I mean, I'm just saying, I that's one of those things that I have a problem with.
Well, you have to find an
I don't
honest one.
want to. Yeah, I don't want to know. Like I said earlier, I don't want to know what the history is before I go and do an investigation. I want to know the history after I go and do an
See,
investigation.
it's a pretty good segue to this other show that I follow and I watch, and it's God, I can't remember the name. It's on the Travel Channel, and
What is it?
what the
Fear?
hell?
The fear?
No, not Destination Fear, which is
That's
a
not
decent.
okay.
That's an all right one too.
Yeah.
No,
What
this
is his
one,
name? Cody or something like that.
Dakota.
Dakota, you know what? You're doing all right. I'll give you that. You're actually just like one of the shows that first got me into this was that Nick guy and that girl that would do sleepovers at
Oh,
certain
you're talking about
places.
Nick Groff and Katrina, whatever her
Yeah,
name is.
yeah. That's what
Yeah.
like really got me back into being like, hey, you know what? I need to do this again. And I fully respect Nick Groff.
Yes.
I don't know if it's okay to actually say his name on YouTube,
We're not
but I
bashing
fully
them, so.
respect. I fully respect him, and I fully respect Katrina. I think that they are two of the most genuine people in this field. Period. Um, I'm just very apologetic for the people that followed after them. Frodo.
Yeah, let me see if I can find the name of this show. But basically,
I've got the lovely bunch of coconuts.
it.
Frodo.
Hang on.
Sorry.
It's all right.
If I ever actually get a full podcast to going off on Frodo, oh my god, there's gonna be problems.
The Dead Files.
Oh
The Dead
yeah,
Files.
yeah. That one's hard to follow though.
It is, but I like it. There's a retired New York detective who actually goes and does more like a literal investigation
Ooh.
of the place. You know, dives into the history of it, see if there's any murders, this and that. And he interviews the people that are having the issues. You know, and then this psychic goes in, has no idea of anything, any kind of personal belongings or anything that gives her an
See, I
idea of
have
anything
a
gets
serious
removed.
problem with that.
And then they don't talk until they meet at the end. Okay, and then they go over everything that each one of them have with the people that own the place. Okay, and 9 out of 10 times, everything that he finds, she corroborates. You know, she picked up on just walking through the house. You know,
Which is
she
just
has,
shit.
huh?
It's just shit.
It's the shit.
It's shit. I don't believe psychics. I have a problem with psychics.
Either way, I mean, she doesn't talk to the people until the end, and like I said, 9 out of 10 times, she'll describe to them exactly what they've described to this detective. You know, I like the show. I do.
I do too. I agree. Again, like I said, even on the Hoja Files, I just have problems with the psychics. I have a serious problem with that.
The other ones, I mean, that's only two, three.
Uh,
Oh, and the one he's talking about with that Dakota, who used to be a cameraman for the Dude Bros.
yeah, Frodo.
That I think that show is called Destination Fear,
Mm-hmm.
and the premise behind that show is
It's the same
He-
thing that Nick and Katrina did.
something like that, except he goes out and he scouts these places to go.
And
Doesn't tell his team.
and nobody else knows where they're going.
Exactly.
He's the only one.
And then they get there, and it's an honest reactions to stuff because they have no idea what they're walking into.
Yeah.
You know, there's no preconceptions. They're walking in cold.
Yeah. And I love that.
Yeah.
See, maybe that's just me. Maybe that's how to sum me up. I love cold investigations, not knowing anything about the place, and getting my own experiences instead of knowing. Oh well, this person felt this or this person felt that. Maybe that's where I'm at. But I love that cold case file thing. That is spectacular to me, and I think that Destination Fear show is going to go a lot farther than what Frodo does if Dakota is smart. I fully respect Dakota. 100%. I think he's great. So
All right, let's open up to any final questions, comments, anything like that. Again, our YouTube followers and anybody watching the video.
yeah, we
If you
still
guys have any comments, questions, whatever, hit them down in the comment section.
yeah, we still have
We'll get to
four
'em.
more. We still have four more hits that we got to do. We'll do
get to
that
them next
on.
time.
Yeah,
You
we'll
know, I
do
mean,
that
we're
on our next podcast.
Hour and a half
but
in right now.
let's just go ahead and take some quick questions and get this done, and I can go and make dinner.
At 9:30 at night.
Well, so we're going in there Friday.
All right. Again, if you guys like this video, please hit that subscribe button and that bell icon. This way, you guys know anytime we post a new vid or new investigation or whatever. I will also be compiling the EVP clips that we've gotten from previous investigations that I have posted on Facebook.
You can throw those on YouTube now. Yeah.
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 So I'm probably compile a complete video of just EVPs and pictures and stuff like that, just so you guys can see and
I would separate them between.
See what we've done and what we've
Yeah.
encountered. So again, and our followers, if you could hit up our YouTube channel, Fourth Kind Paranormal, Fourth Kind Paranormal Profiles. It's fourth with a 4, the number 4, TH, Paranormal Profiles. Jump on there, subscribe, hit that like button on our videos, after you watch them if you like them.
I know they're long.
Yeah, well, they're podcasts. Podcasts are going to be long.
Yeah, they're long, and it's a lot to actually take in, and it's a lot to strain your brain with, but it's worth it.
Yeah.
It's definitely worth it.
Every live feed we're going to do, I'm going to format it to YouTube, so it's going to be on YouTube. Every investigation we do, again, live on Facebook, formatted to YouTube. It'll be posted on YouTube as well. This way, can't lose any more of them.
Yeah.
So, again, if you guys have any questions, comments, hit us up now on Facebook Live. We'll be happy to answer them for you. On YouTube, go ahead, drop them down in the comments. We'll get to every single one that you got.
Oh yeah, that's definite.
And shoot us an email.
Yeah, comments on either site are checked just about every hour.
Yeah.
So one of us.
I get a notification as soon as I get a comment.
You will. Same here. You will get one of us, if not both of us, answering your question or responding to your request. If you have some place that you want us to check out, we will respond. Right now, if it's residential, it would be a lot better because
it's getting kind of cold.
Yeah, we're wimps. We don't like cold weather. But questions, either one of us or both of us will answer. We are always there, one way or the other. If it's an emergency, you can call one of us and we will be there. We will hook up. It may not be that night, but it will be within the next 2 days, and we can come and do an investigation for you and help you guys out. We are very. What's the word I'm looking for? We are. What's the word I'm looking for? We're
open.
Not open. We're available. We're very available. We can work things out within our schedules and make ourselves available to you guys. So it just is what it is. As long as you're in the same state, it's just we're not going to drive to California overnight.
If you do have an issue, still let us know. If we can't get to you,
we'll help you out.
we'll try and help
telling
you and work.
how to work
help
it,
walk
work
you
with
through it.
Yeah.
Okay. So, all right, we're gonna go ahead and end this right now. And thank you everybody for joining us on live, and thanks for watching our channel. Much appreciated. We wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for you guys. So, you guys have yourselves a good night, and catch you on the flip side.
Take care, everyone.